All right, so first things first, we're gonna do the unboxing. I recommend buying your things online, get a cheaper price. I purchased this off of eBay. I recommend also stopping by Amazon to check out the reviews. Make sure you check out the 2-star, 1-star reviews. Those really let you know what features the device is missing that you might really want. So use Amazon for reviews and use eBay for the actual purchase. I like how on the box it has a black lady bringing a newspaper and and some coffee. That's like funny to me. It's like that's what we're looking out for. That nosy neighbor that brings our coffee and newspaper. All right, so we have our packaging. Inside we have the doorbell, of course. Buying things on eBay, you definitely want to make sure it's not a brick in there, or you know how they some scammers on eBay. So be careful getting that cheaper price. It's real cool. It comes with its own tools. Why spend so much money when all this stuff come with their own tools on the inside now? I mean, everything you need. Also, it comes with instructions. That's a plus. Nowadays, everything's like PDF. It's really cool that you actually get a booklet and it's in color and it has pictures and it's in English. Usually the cheaper price, you deal with booklets that are cheap, and then also languages you don't understand. I'm really excited. This booklet, it says, make sure you have a phone, duh, and also make sure you have internet. Taking this apart, I always like to take it apart, check it out, look at it, get a feel for it. Mini USB cables, that's funny. I have like a whole pile of those. It seems like everything you buy nowadays come with that, except Apple products, but I still have a lot of them. But so the next part of the video, we're gonna go to the power on test. My uncle taught me this, my Uncle Junior, shout out to Uncle Junior. He does car audio. He told me you always wanna make sure your stuff works. I power it on before I even run any wires, because at the end of it, you don't wanna go back and have to troubleshoot your own wiring or the device and you don't know which one's at fault. So power on the device to get an idea if it works. All right, we have the next step, which is turn off the doorbell power. You're gonna have to be able to read. So it says living room, there's lights, front room. The doorbell power is normally in the living room. So just use context clues and trial and error. So once you confirm the doorbell's powered off, it won't make sound anymore. You just start taking it apart, following the steps. So this is where we're going to replace the doorbell and we're going to take it apart. This install, it was pretty simple. I've done 10 of these already, so I'm really familiar with every one of them. Installing on wood, installing on vinyl, installing on brick. You just go with whatever you need. All right, next step, of course I want to record this, so I'm right now wearing my wearable camera, but I'm now taking out my tripod and setting it up for my phone. This is for people who want to also record their own work. I'm just showing you the behind the scenes. This is how simple it is. Buy your tripod, use your iPhone, put an OtterBox on, and push record. So that's my tool bag down there, a bunch of tools, just getting everything ready. I like to keep everything on the floor. It really keeps everything organized and neat. And also, it's basically drop proof. If everything's on the ground already, you don't have to worry about it falling and you breaking it. So working on the table is not necessary. All right. So the next part here is I'm just stripping, the wire's already stripped. I'm just putting them on the binding post. You want to just make sure you handle the wires, with some delicacy, because these wires are old, so they can break. And you also just want to make sure you tighten them down in a way that they don't touch each other, so they don't short. Smell like bacon when you're done if you have wires shorting and you kind of wasted your whole install and you turn the power on and nothing works. So I dropped the screwdriver there. Now I'm just putting everything together, and now I'm going to put it onto the wall. I just want to line it up. Make sure you take your time doing this. You don't want to damage the wires, and you want to make sure it's level because you don't want people looking sideways. Remember those tools that it came with? And it came with some screws. So use what they give you. If they give you screws, use the screws. The anchors are only for the green anchors. Those are only for if you're mounting on bricks. So don't worry about it unless you need them. I'll make another video on how to use anchors correctly. All right. So right now I'm using the self tool that they gave me to screw in the screws. Their tool is needed because there's a small space in there, but I'm frustrated and I don't like waiting, so I'm going to use my drill. Plus, I'm really skilled when it comes to using my DeWalt drill, so I'd rather use my drill than a little screwdriver. So, drilling it, screwing the hole, screwing the screw in the hole. And now what I'm doing is do the same thing for the bottom screw. And I also like to use the original screwdriver and hand tighten it. It's almost like when you mount a TV, you use a drill butt for so much, and then for the last few parts you want to hand tighten with a screwdriver or whatnot. Alright, so now we're going to install the digital power amp. Once again, this is the part that allows you to touch the doorbell and it make the one on the inside ring, and also it gives the proper amount of power to the doorbell itself so it doesn't short out or fry itself. This part, you want to make sure you follow the instructions. Make sure you match up the polarity. Doesn't matter, but as you see, there's 3 binding posts in here, so you want to make sure you attach it to the correct binding post. The correct binding post is definitely important for this part. I read the instructions and before I got up there, and I realized, okay, I was going for the wrong one. I was like, okay, let me remember it's the other one. So good thing is to have the instructions with you when you're doing this part, and also just pay attention. All right. So after I put on these wires into their binding posts and tighten them, the next part is to move this chime part away from any mechanical moving parts. You don't want it to get in the way of anything that's making noise. Alright, next part is the app setup. Pretty much at the last part, I went to the breaker, turned the breaker back on. Now I have power at the doorbell, and now I'm just following the steps through the app. Of course, you're gonna create an account for the doorbell, I guess the online service, and then after that you're going to go through the app and sign in, and then you're going to find your doorbell. I like these doorbells because they create their own little wireless signal, so you're connecting directly to the doorbell and then you're adding in your Wi-Fi signal. I like to do this on the customer's phone. I recommend you do it on the customer's phone because of privacy. I promise, if you do it on your phone, they're going to think you're looking at their cameras when you're not there. So do it on their phone so you can give it back to them, because worst case scenario is they're going to try to reset the password because they're thinking that you're looking at it, and they're going to call you and say, hey, the camera's not working, and they're not going to let you know that they reset the password. They're just going to say the camera's not working. Now you got to do a U-turn, or you got to return back to their home and figure it out, or you got to talk them through it over the phone. That may be extra money for you, but it's frustration for the customer, so that's kind of what we want to avoid. We want these installs to be as smooth as possible. All right, so during this moment, I'm just still setting up the doorbell app. Once I have confirmation it is good to go, we want to name it. I usually name it front door or doorbell. Just I can ask them as well, ask the customer what do they want to name it, and then we just test it. Now looking at it, I'm testing the live view, and once I hit play, I love these gloves because my smartphones can work through them, and there I go. That's me with my orange vest. I always wear my orange vest because just in case I'm in someone's yard and the homeowner's not there, I don't want the neighbor thinking I'm somebody in the backyard just doing things. All right, so give the customer the phone, let them test it, let them peel off the plastic, do the finishing touches to it, put the case back on, snap it in place, and now we're ready to test it. I press it, wait for her response to show that a notification popped up, and that's pretty much the bells and whistles of this thing. So now we're done. This is like IKEA. If you have any leftover parts, take it apart, read the instructions, and figure out why. You do not want leftover parts. I left off the waterproof USB cover. I definitely need that so it doesn't rust. All right, that is it. That is how you add a doorbell camera to your home. Thank you for watching.